Yo, what's good, boys? We are back at it again with another MLB The Show 25 video for you guys, and today we have another lineup review. So I'm sure I'm not going to get to everybody. Appreciate everybody that sent theirs in. This may be the last one I do before Weekend Classic. We might do one on the day it comes out, just to try to help people out a little bit. But as of right now, operate under the assumption this is the last one until Weekend Classic. So I do want to plug this. If it's not a chore for you and you would like a VOD review, me reacting to your gameplay, coaching, stuff like that, then you can send the link to the email, and I will choose one of those to react to on the YouTube channel. So if you're cool with that, if you want basically a free coaching sesh, there's how you'll do that. It's not going to be super common, maybe like once a month, something like that, just something to promote the coaching, let people know it's still there, and it should be a fun video. So again, if it's not a chore, I wouldn't go out of your way to do it, but if you already have VODs of you playing, or if it's relatively easy, you have Elgato or something, just, send it in. I might pick your clip or your video and do a live coaching on the YouTube channel. So enough of that. So let's go ahead and get started. We've already burned a minute. So if you like the content, like and subscribe, all that. So Alex just sent his in. 930 rated, 400K in the bank. Don't know about the bullpen. Feels like there's not good options. So I'm still going to go over God squads, because I think just because somebody has a good team doesn't mean, especially if they're sending like their lineup structure, tells me that they're insecure about that. So we got Scott Rowland, Cattell, Polanco, Hodges, Soto. Soto, now since he got downgraded, you kind of have to watch his inside edge. See he's a 95 in this picture, so he's probably good to rock. But yeah, that's pretty much the best lineup. Rotation, pretty much the best rotation, unless you want like Dustin May for one of these last two probably. But I'd say other than not having Randy, which if you're 900, then you're on the legend, so maybe you don't want Randy because of the pars. Bullpen wise, Shelby Miller's crazy. I guess the D-backs boost. I guess you actually have a bench. We can't see it, but I guess he actually has a bench. Or I guess it's right here. Okay, he wants Tatis and Headley on the bench for whatever reason. So there's your bullpen. You can just get one of them off your bench. I don't really get the point. Because, I mean, Beltran, Santi, and Brown Reynolds aren't coming out of the game. And then Juan Soto, but Tatis would not be, I guess, just pure defensive replacement. But you can do that with Corbin Carroll, to be honest. So there's a bullpen arm for you. You can easily get somebody in for Shelby Miller. Got the new Loaizaga, Franco. I mean, I don't love your lefties. Like, I think Gold, Matt Strahm is probably just as good as either of these, especially Tanner Scott. So probably go that route. But yeah, I mean, bullpen's pretty weak right now. So pretty good team. Like a 9.9. Like, there's some stuff I would change, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So Brian leadoff, Belt. Yeah, I mean, pretty much the best team available. So like I said, we're not going to spend a ton of time on God squads, because I would rather help my guy Nick out here. So first year playing, 500 rated, 190K stubs. Griffey to replace Roman Anthony. So I'm sure he's already done that. He's given us updated screenshots. So let's go ahead and run through it. So team-wise, running Griffey, running Bryant, running Tatis. I don't love Bryant's swing. It's kind of delayed for me. Gibson. So he was at 500. He's probably either still at 500 or maybe he made the push to 6. Trout out of the team. I mean, if you're still an all-star, like, Trout will be fine. I mean, if you already hit good with him, he'll still hit good. It's just when you start to get the Hall of Fame, legend, stuff like that, he becomes a little irrelevant. And then Jay Gibby is a little scary at catcher. But if you're hitting well with him, it doesn't really matter. It seems like more of maybe like a pitching problem. John Schultz. Schultz a little dated at this point. DeGrom. Satchel's genuinely horrendous. Like, I think Cueto would be better. I think there's probably some budget righties that would be way better. we can go ahead and get up in here, I guess. Zim, you could probably get to Zim. Gibson's probably not worth running, but I mean, you could try him if you get along well with him. Hunter Green would be an idea. Corey Kluber would be an idea. The problem is there's a lot of righties that would be good on higher difficulty, not so much on lower, but Satchel's downright horrendous. Oh, you say he wasn't hitting well with Napoli. Close to getting Ted Simmons, so he'll be running him a catcher, I suppose. And then bullpen wise, so P5 Tanner Scott, so only you know how you perform with that card, is what I would say. Hoffman, don't love. I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad bullpen. The only like outlier, I mean, I guess Urseg counts. I don't love Urseg. I don't love Hoffman, but like I just said with the last guy, the bullpen's pretty weak. So I don't really know what you do with your budget. You've got Mookie, you've got Marte. You got to put some parallels on Mookie, I guess. You already locked in Santi, so I don't really know what there is to do for your team with 100K other than just stack paper. The team's good enough. The team's good enough. You've only got 2 lefties, so you're not going to get overly punished for that. It's not a bad team. I got to kind of think a little bit here because it's going to set the baseline for the rest of the day. It's probably like an 8. It's probably 8. There's some holes in the pitching. The lineup's not, you know, the most ideal. The bullpen's not the most ideal, but it's a good team. And the team's not holding you back. I think it's more of a, you know, reps issue, skill issue, however you want to say. But the team's good enough. You can hoop with that team. All right, next up, we got my guy Noah here. 400K budget, 800 rating. Let me know. Do y'all want the censor bar? Because I feel like some people that send their team in probably don't want their full email to get doxxed. But I feel like some people probably want to be able to see their email, so when they're scrubbing through the video, they can find out when I did their team. Let me know about that, I suppose. 400K, 800 rating, working on Donaldson in May. Well, Donaldson's free now, so shouldn't be too hard. Posada, Jordan. Yeah, I'm on a 400K budget. Jordan, what's Yordi right now? Let's if you ever want to check a player's price without having to log in, you can just go market, flipping, and then go name. So he is 125K. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Thought he'd be like 150 still. If he gets to 100, I can you know do it, but at 125, it's a lot. Posada's absolutely worth every penny. I don't know what he is. I heard rumors he got down to like 120 like a week ago, but I'm pretty sure he rebounded post roster update. So yeah, so he's like 200K now, but I think he's worth every penny. When I tell you he can legitimately be your catcher for the next 3 months, I mean it. So he's absolutely worth it. I think we might have some bigger problems. I think we might have like Evan Carter in center field. He's very fast, but he can't touch lefties. And he's going to have kind of bad reaction. So I'm pretty sure this wheel doesn't actually account for him being in his secondary. So he's actually got like 68 reaction right now. So that's not super good. Polanco in a secondary, playing with fire there. I would legit consider just running Seager at third out position and just de-aging Polanco at that point. I think if he's been playing a good third for you, fine. But I would think Seager out of position would probably play better. I don't love Taylor Ward. So you're just saving all your stubs. Center field's an issue for you. I mean, I would just go get Griffey. 20K. Or if you've earned that, or if you're close to the XP, it is double XP right now, I believe. So there you go. Go get Griffey. I think Posada's worth every penny. I'm sure he'll get cheaper. Oh my lord. So he said he was working on John, right? 800 rating with this team is something. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not ideal. Donaldson and May. So Donnie there. Probably May for Skeens, although you do have him P5, so I don't really know what's going through your head, if you like him or not. And then he did not share his bullpen. I can see some of it. Got Urseg, Silver Joe Kelly, Hobie, Soto, and Aroldis. So not bad. But I think Posada's worth every penny, for sure. I mean, Soderstrom's no slouch. Like, he's definitely solid. But you just can't go wrong with Posada. I don't like Taylor Ward. Depends on how you like him. I'd seriously be considering a new center fielder. I'm sure that Evan Carter is very nice, but I would be considering looking at a new one. I don't think Jordan would help your team too much. He'd be a little better against lefties than what Corey Seager is. But they're both going to, have to hit off lefties and not have a ton of fun when that does happen. So pretty decent team. I think I can't go higher than it's probably like a 6.5. Objectively, it's not that good of a team. I mean, you're pitching Silver Randy every 5 games and Joe Kelly. And then Gold, Team Effendi, Evan Carter playing center field is crazy. The pieces around them are pretty good, but I just can't give it a crazy rating just based on that. All right, so next up, we got Ping here. Martinez boost for Marte, obviously. Working towards rolling. Need a new left fielder, but Manny Rakes could move Santi, but he's not great. Yeah. 750, close to World Series. He's grinding after his finals. Good luck on your finals, my guy. Let's see. Swap these two. Your infield will already be better if you just swap those two. J-Ram isn't supercharged, so I don't know if you're still running him or not, but you have Headley, so you can just do that. You said you're working towards rolling. You're probably getting close there. I don't think Reynolds for Ramirez is the craziest thing. I think Posada would be where I would put those stubs. I would not go. Let me just check the market real quick. Yeah, he's 170K right now. Posada for sure. You can live with Manny or putting Santi in left and DHing Manny or DHing like Judge or somebody. Posada. If you got stubs, Posada. Clem, May, Zim, John Don, and Cueto. Nothing wrong with that rotation. You're only on Hall of Fame, so like Cueto and Zimmerman could struggle a little bit, but shouldn't be the end of the world. Soto, Milner, Martinez, Urseg. Added the new Ottavino. How many lefties is that? 2, 3. It's only 3, and one of them's Hobie Milner, who almost doesn't count. So I would maybe consider getting another lefty in, especially if you really want to cherry pick it. Anytime you know you're about to start Dustin May, maybe add another lefty in just in case. Anytime you start a righty starter, there's always that chance you load into somebody who just stacks lefties. But pretty good team. Has Beltran. So I think it's legit just a 9.5. I think what makes it a 10 is getting Posada. I mean, I think you're worried about the wrong thing in left field. I think Posada would upgrade this team by miles. All right, so we've got Joshua here, and he sent us some sideways stuff. Everyone except for Roland, 900 rating. Loves the videos. Well, I appreciate that, my guy. Let's see, what's the lineup? So Reynolds, we're going to fly through this because it's sideways. Don't like Napoli, get Posada. If you really got everybody, get Posada. Bench looks like mostly like pinch runners and stuff. Clem, Randy, John. You haven't locked in Randy, maybe sell him for Posada just because he's not crazy. Like, Posada's going to have more of an impact on your team, I think. If you need the stubs, or if you can just grind some like Diamond Quest or something to get Posada. Bullpen wise, Kopech and Mason Miller's kind of a no-no. I think this Robertson card's shocking. So I think he's probably the only issue I have. These two are almost the same guy, but at least as long as you don't pitch them both in the same game, you'll always have that look to show people. So it's not the end of the world having both of them. Probably just another 9.5. Another team that's like just missing Posada. And y'all really think I'm kidding that like I have a million of these to go through. We just got another one. So we're going back to the top. So we got my guy David here. Review the lineup when you can. Stuck at 700 rating. I can see why. I can see why. All right. So Soderstrom as a catcher, pretty good. As a first baseman, I'd probably rather just run this David Ortiz. Bazana, Jeet, I mean, dude, that's a lot. What, Ashburn's a lefty, I think. So what, that's 3, 4. Half your lineup's lefties. You're going to struggle. If you see John, if you see Randy, which is an eventuality, you're going to struggle. It's not going to be fun. Martinez in the secondary is genuinely insane. Richie Ashburn's terrible. He's got some work to do, honestly. Like, go grind some moments. Run up some programs. Nothing wrong with Bregman. He's getting a little outdated, but if you got parallels on him, there's nothing wrong with him. The bench is kind of all over the place. Speed guy here. Don't know what Altuve is doing. Another speed guy with Ellie on the bench. So, honestly, like most of this lineup, I would just probably scrap. Martinez to left, his primary. The Simrains have secondaries. Go ahead and check this real quick. Yeah, exactly. Got to sign in to do anything on there. Let's see. I would think Chozon has... Okay, so no secondary, so he's stuck in left field. Makes it tough. Maybe you play him out of position in right field and JD in left. JD's already going to be such a liability. I feel like you almost don't want to play him in secondary. Jeter's got to go. The new Ellie that just came out will be better than that Jeter, so I go grind that. And then other than that, I mean, Veritek's really good against lefties, right? Like, I'm not tripping, so I would probably just platoon Soderstrom. Start Soderstrom at catcher, and if it's a lefty, you put in Veritek for the rest of the game. And then I would just start this Ortiz, like he mashes. And then I'd, get picky between Bazana and Ashburn. One of them's got to go. Bazana can play center field for you. You also have the new Griffey that I would hope most people are getting close to now with double XP. And then if this is the Diamond Ellie, then I think your team's hooping. You said you're at 700 rating? That's kind of crazy with this team. Starter-wise, so, I mean, it really isn't even that too much better. Gibson is fine, like no outlier, just kind of makes him whatever. Fried, Bueller, Burns, Imanaga, Joe Kelly, Griffin Jacks. Oh, now he's a silver. Yeah, he really shouldn't be anybody's bullpen now. Dude, honestly, like, I don't like Bueller. I don't love Corbin Burns. I hate this Imanaga. Don't love Max Fried. And I don't love Bob Gibson. So your whole starting rotation, like, go run the storylines, go run the conquest map, get John Donaldson. At least you'll have a true ace at that point, which will already like bring your rotation up. I don't like Mark Davis. I like Joe Kelly, has terrible clutch. I hate Griffin Jacks. I don't love Ryan Presley at this point. This is like a 5. For this point of the game, this is a 5. I could go lower. I could be harsher. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Am I being too nice at this point? He made the 700 rating, so he's clearly not a bad player, but this lineup is not great. I would guess that most of your games are probably low scoring, and you get carried by like probably Bregman, Martinez, and Alvarez on offense. And then it's mostly low scoring games. So I think you can improve your staff. I think you can improve the lineup. There's a lot of work to be done. All right, next team. We got my guy. I'm going to dox him because I don't know how to say it. Just down a little bit. One little bit. Clicking the mouse, not like... Okay, I guess not. There it goes. All right, however you would pronounce that. Yandelle? I don't know. I would think Yandelle. 898. 158,000 subs. All of NL done except Otani. Oof. Oof. Trout is out of the lineup. Tatis in right field. What changes would I make? Okay, so you're Ohtani away from Beltran. So you're like 400K, 500K. I don't even know what Ohtani is at this point. Away from Beltran. And obviously, it should probably be all hands on deck there to where you're not going out your way to spend 200K on Posada. If Brian Reynolds isn't locked in, I would maybe question why you're not selling him. If you get within striking range of Beltran, I think you just sell Brian Reynolds for 170K. If those are the last few stubs, you need to finish it. And then you kind of rebuild from the ground up, and you can decide if Brian Reynolds is worth it like a week from now after Weekend Classic rewards, or if you want to go like Posada. That's probably what I would do. Pitching wise, Zim, Don, Corbin Burns super factor, so you probably like him. Corey Kluber P4, Leiter P5. You are still in Hall of Fame, but there's a good chance when you queue up you end up on Legend, so I don't hate like Kluber and Burns and like Zimmerman. Don't like Urseg. Felix is, I feel like you're really playing with fire using Felix at the rating that you're at, because instead of it being like, I feel like if you're on All-Star and you bring in Felix, there's like a 3/4 chance that he's going to be gross. Whereas after you make it to high ranks, it's like a 25% chance. Like it goes down drastically between people who can hit Felix and people who can't. Miller, I don't love Hoffman. We got some lineup structure here. Yeah, I'd say it's good lineup structure. Again, Brian Reynolds, if he's going to be what separates you and Beltran, sell him. Because he's batting 7th. He's playing mediocre center field defense for you. He's whatever. He's replaceable. So that's probably what I would do, is consider selling Brian Reynolds after you get a couple more stubs and get in range of Ohtani. And then probably seriously contemplate like Miller and Bautista. But other than that, really good team. It's probably like an 8.5, because I feel like to get a 9, you almost have to have like Beltran at this point, but it's still a really solid team. So he did actually ask for suggestions in the batting order. That's just always so tough. All I can do is go off stats here. I don't know how you hit with a lot of these players, but that's more or less how I would probably structure the lineup. So pretty solid team. All right, so we got Joseph here. We got a long message, good comms. Thinking about swapping out Trout, Cattell as well for somebody a little more balanced. That's crazy. If not, 600, about 60K liquid, 2 mil in investments. Okay, interesting. All suggestions are appreciated. Okay, start with the lineup. So Roman Anthony, obviously Griffey. I mean, that's like 2 lineup reviews videos where that was like my most common suggestion. If you're still running Roman Anthony, I'd probably run Griffey. You are 600 rated, so you are still on All-Star, so Trout's still semi-usable. After you make it 700, assuming you do, probably get him out. Marte, he's just too good to take out, I think. Just run the Martinez boost. If you want a little more from him, he's also getting inside edge now, so shouldn't be a problem. So you actually have Roland before Beltran, and I think that's such a huge misstep. I don't think it costs an insane amount to do Roland, but I think just it should be all hands on deck on Beltran and Hodges and Roger Clemens for sure. I think that's a little bit of a misstep, and will hurt you in the short term. Long term, it probably won't matter because you have so many investments that you'll probably get them both done anyway. Tyler Molly, absolutely sucks. Probably get him gone. Randy probably isn't worth 150K from you right now, but it's up to you. I think John gives you most of the same stuff, and you can just live with like a replacement level guy for those other games. But it's up to you. Just to do Hobie, Aroldis, Kopech. Yeah, not bad. So you do have Martinez. I don't know if he's activated or not. Yeah, you're not using your bench. So he's not activated. Just activate him. There you go. more balanced Marte. Lineup wise, I would like a switch hitter second, so either Cattell or, but I do see that you don't have a ton, so you probably do want to split your lineup up a little more. So I don't hate it. I think moving Ortiz up a spot and Marte down one would just make more sense because you'd have more of a gap between these lefties. But not a bad team. It's probably like a flat 8. I'll give him an 8.5 just because he has Scott rolling, even though I don't think Scott is necessarily the best guard in the world. But I mean, the starting rotation's cool. The bullpen's cool. It's just, you know, you're just in a weird spot right now where if you don't have Beltran, it's like, where do you go in center field? Where you go? I mean, Posada would be good too, but it's kind of all hands on deck on investing in Beltran, I suppose, right now. All right, next team up, we got Lucas, 830. He's doing really good with Westberg, so that's cool. I always ask for irreplaceables, so if you hit really good with them, it's cool. 265K, but it's like all hands on Shohei. I get that. Makes sense. Needs starting pitchers. Yeah, I mean, Gibson's not going to feel good because he doesn't have outlier, so he's just not ever going to be that guy. Where are we at? 830? All right, 830. So firmly on Hall of Fame, potentially queuing up on Legend. Okay, so you got reps with pretty much all of these guys. I don't like PCA, dude. It's just an automatic out against a lefty. Like 44 power, you're legit just hoping for an infield single or like a blooper. So I really don't like it. I would rather have a right fielder that hits and just play Brian Reynolds in center, or maybe even another guy that where one of his last cards is Shohei and he's got Brian Reynolds. Go sell him for 170, bang, you're like getting close to Shohei. I'd probably earn the extra stubs you need before selling Brian Reynolds, but he's like 170K right now. And I think he's replaceable. So I'd probably, like, if you went and got Shohei, you could just run Shohei and right. I'm not going to promise you it would be great because the lefty-lefty matchups with him are going to suck. But at least then you would have Beltran in center field. So you'd just be swapping out a lefty spot, and Shohei's a lot more capable lefty-lefty than what Pete Crow Armstrong is. So I think that's probably what I would do. I would scrounge up those extra, like, 100, 150K you need, and then probably sell Brian Reynolds. Would probably be what I would do. Yeah, Gibson's not great. I'd just go Cueto. Just go Cueto. He's not going to be great, but he won't be bad like Bob Gibson is. This Gibson card sucks. He's just not super good. Let's see. Bullpen. I don't love Urseg, but you've got him super fractured, so if you're liking him, cool. It works. I would maybe get the new Ottavino in here, but it's up to you. A lot of lefties in the bullpen, but like I said, Hobie almost doesn't even count as a lefty. So P5 Tanner Scott, depending on how good he is, I'd consider like gold Matt Strom for him, but it's really up to you. Nothing wrong with the team. Nothing wrong. I think just, recheck your priorities. If you haven't locked in this Brian Reynolds, I don't know why you would have. But as long as you haven't, I'd probably just sell him. Just sell him. Get Soto. I think you don't have to worry about Leiter. I think he's just always going to be decent. I think the only guy replacing Leiter is a new Leiter. Obviously, Randy would probably be better, but I think you're on the right track. Devote all your subs to Shohei. The rest of it will figure itself out, and you'll get Clemens. Where's Clemens? Oh, to finish NL collections. Oh, that changes things. I got a little too antsy there. So he's got like basically no progress in the AL. So that'll give him Gil Hodges, which is an upgrade. So if you sold Reynolds and put Shohei in right, you still kind of just have a gap. You're not walking into Beltran. Am I tweaking? Like, who's AL? It's like Baylor, O'Day, and Kipnis, yeah. I mean, he could have the AL done, and you would not know from this screenshot because none of them would probably play on this team. So it makes sense. Other than O'Day, and I didn't check the bullpen till last. Yeah, so that changes things. I'd probably still rather have either Griffey in center field and then leave Brian in right, or like Griffey. I mean, maybe there's a world where like Brian in left is for the best, and then Santi in the secondary. Or, I mean, I'll tell you what I would do with this outfield. I would probably run Griffey in center field, because after you get parallels on him, he'll be the best option defensively in center field. Brian in left, and just Soto in right. Like, Soto is honestly such an underrated defender. And then you have your DH spot available, so you can put whoever you want in at that point. So that's probably my actual lineup advice for this team. A little unfortunate that I got a little too excited while reading and thought he meant Shohei for all collections. All right, so we got John here pre-jacking the thank you. So he was confident his team was getting picked here. 80K stubs. Like, 80K is just not a lot. Like, you can go buy the new Diamond Quest rewards with 80K. That's about it. All right, so we're on a budget. I'm going to assume you locked this Beltray in. You definitely locked him in. Do not do that. Do not do that. Because I can tell from your team that you're not a super grinder. And you could sell that McGuire for like 30 right now, that Beltray for like 50. And then Manny, if you want to use him, it's whatever. Otherwise, he's like 25K. So you would have your entire team's worth of value just from selling those 3 players, and you could go out and get some pretty good players. So I can tell you locked them in for like 30K progress in this XP path, and you still haven't earned one of the bosses, because I don't see Griffey or anybody, or you sold them and you didn't. I'm sure you didn't get them when they were going for like 100K or whatever. So that's the only way you would ever lock these in. It's not worth it otherwise. Unless you're a supreme grinder, you should not lock these in. So your team would already be better if you didn't do that. You'd have a lot more stubs to work with. Hate this card. Hate this card. Don't love this card. Hate this card. I will concede that Ricky Swing is a little better than it has been in the past. And I'm sure this J-Ram, while supercharged, really good. Not the craziest now. So I don't know where you go. I mean, get the new Ellie to play shortstop. He'll be better than this Ozzie Smith. Promise you that. And then second base. Ugh. Second base. I mean, it's just going to be like Polanco and stuff, right? I mean, the ranked Ozzy Albies would be better than that Bryson Stott, so go play online and you'll get him pretty handedly. This Brandon Lau is like 10K, and assuming you're on All-Star, which I feel like this lineup is an All-Star lineup, Brandon Lau will go crazy on a low difficulty. So he'd probably be pretty good. This card's completely free. You can go grind him by doing the storylines. So probably do that. And then Glaber. Free Glaber is way better than this Bryson Stott. So that's already like 3 second basemen you can get. PCA for you. I'm sure he's a hooper. I would run Manny in left over Ricky, or I would DH him over McGuire. Starting staff wise is actually pretty decent. I did not expect this. I feel like a lot of your games are probably low scoring games, and is how I'm feeling. Hate Mark Davis, hate Billy Wagner. So oh my, the bullpen though. Felix Bautista for Kirby Yates. If you want a splitter pitcher, there you go. Class A sucks, like genuinely sucks. Let's go ahead and just do like relievers. I mean, I think you're missing all the Team Affinity guys, so that's kind of one of the reasons. Yeah, I mean, you're missing Raleigh, you're missing Franco, you're missing. Not Miller. I wouldn't advise like going out your way for Andrew Miller at this point. Although you have the Guardians collection done, so there's almost no reason not to have him, because there's so many missions for like stats and parallel XP with JRAM, and then after you lock in the live series, you get 20k progress anyway. So, I would question where Andrew Miller's at. So he would be better than probably one of these. I would like to keep the other though for a different look, and you need one more lefty in general. Davino's like 10k, or if you like running Diamond Quest, he's there. Loiza's pretty solid for like 25k. Gossage is like 7k now. He would be probably the best reliever in your bullpen. The Soto is pretty good as a lefty. So there's a lot of options here. The bullpen is disastrous. This is gonna be another 5. I'll be honest. There's a lot to work on here. You know, if you're enjoying the squad, dope. That's all that really matters. But it's like a 5. All right. So next up, we got Jacob here, or Jakob, I suppose. Either way. Trying my hardest at World Series, first time ever working on a live series. Need a lot of the high guys. And this was his initial squad, so we won't spend too much time on it. Pretty good. A lot of switch hitters. And pitching staff was pretty solid. Not ideal. Locked in Perry to put in for Walker Buehler. Cool. Squad ended up winning World, so he made World Series with Chipper for the first time ever. Had J-Ram playing third and Albies at DH. Loves the vids. All right. So this is a World Series caliber team now. So yeah, you just directly upgraded Ellie. Makes sense. Chipper, not ideal, but you can make it work with those stats and just the quirks and the swing that he has. I'm gonna assume you picked him and slotted him in and weren't using him for the World Series game. Yeah, I mean, Simmons is the weak point. So if you have another outfielder you like, I'd probably sell Reynolds to go get Posada. But it's up to you. If Reynolds is really hooping for you, I wouldn't worry about it. Starting staff is pretty good. I would go get Dustin May for either Kluber or Perry. But other than that, I feel like you're hooping. Bullpen looks pretty good. I don't love Presley. I feel like you could never really bring him Presley out of the bullpen and feel super confident. But he's also not terrible. But I'm sure there's somebody we could get in here for Ryan Presley. But not a bad team. Congrats on World Series. That's dope. Hitting it for the first time. Just got to work on consistency and doing it every season. And you'll get better over time. But definitely not a bad team. Only, what, one lefty? A lot of switches. Yeah, not bad at all. I feel like we've given out a lot of 8s today. I really like the pitching staff, honestly. Especially if you had Dustin May. So I think I'll give it an 8. I was thinking about knocking it because there's not a lot of like blue chip players. Like I think Marte's free blue chip. I think Santi is. But all these other guys are like replacement level guys, or like the second, third best option at their position. So you're doing the most with the least. So I mess with it. All right. Next team up, we got Travis here. New to the game. Team got submitted. 45k again with 45k. Like you can go get some bullpen arms. That's about it. All right. So already, I can see you are probably a new player. So Griffey to left, out of position, just trust. Or Griffey to right, out of position, just trust. Martinez to left, PCA in center. That's going to give you your best outfield. Sargel, whatever. I haven't really tried him. Usually he has a really janky old-timey swing where he gets destroyed by lefties. Kobe Mayo on a budget is not terrible. He's definitely better than Scott Rowland. So I don't hate that. Dalton Rushing, gotta move on. Like, Will Smith's diamond is better than this Dalton Rushing for sure now. I actually like Pete Alonso's swing. On the low difficulty, I'm sure he would mash, so I don't hate it. Not a bad starting rotation. Satchel's horrendous, but maybe at like low ranks, you can absolutely fry with him. Cade Smith's not very good. This should just be This should just be Felix Bautista if you want a splitter pitcher at low ranks. Ryan Walker's downright horrendous. And this Suitor's awful. I'm going to assume you're using him for the missions to get the like 89 or whatever he is. But even the 89's not that good, so I probably wouldn't worry about it. Lineup structure-wise, Ellie leadoff, JD2. I don't like this already. Call me crazy. I would probably go Griffey leadoff, Ellie in the 2 spot. I'd probably go Pete 3rd, then Stargell 4th. Move PCA way down because he's not going to hit. And then just kind of go from there. You got a lot of lefties. So I'd probably cut out one of them. And it should probably be Stargell for like the free David Ortiz who's sitting on the bench right here. It's probably what I would do. But if you're liking Stargell, then you can keep him. It's not the end of the world. It's not a bad team. It's not a bad team for somebody that just started playing. Not bad. And obviously go upgrade your Ellie, because why not? The 90's just better. So probably go run that. Third base, a little weak. Outfield structure's kind of... I'll give you like a 7 flat, because your outfield's like not structured in the most optimal way. But it's not bad. All right, so next lineup, we got Matthew here. Use PCA for a late game defensive replacement. It's probably his best use. Gave up on Beltran super close to Roland. I don't love that. I don't think Scott Rowland's that good. He's the best third baseman, but it's not by a wide margin. I think the value of Beltran's just, crazy, but I'm not seeing any live series cards, so I see why you gave up. You got Ted Simmons. That's about it from what I'm seeing. All right, so what? One lefty? Only one lefty. This Bautista's probably getting a little bit dated by this point. So I'd consider maybe moving on from him. I think swapping McMahon and Polanco makes sense to just have them both at their primary. And then, I mean, Mickey's not terrible. Like, he's not terrible. He's going to hit lefties better than what PCA does. So there's something to be said about that, I suppose. Good starting rotation. Not the biggest Burns guy, but it's fine. And pretty good bullpen. So we got a tier list enjoyer here because his bullpen is on fleek, to say the least. It's just lineup kind of gets me a little worried. I don't really know what rank you're at. I think the team's good enough. I could see you getting shut down by like a Dustin May because of the outlier sinker, because I think Joey Bats will probably struggle with that. Chris Bryant will definitely struggle with that, and Correa's probably not going to have it, and JD Martinez. So maybe like one more switch or getting rid of like, I think Bryant actually has the worst swing here. Something they did with his swing this year, just his leg kick timing's a little weird. But I mean, if you're mashing with him, then don't let me take him out of your lineup. Probably another 7. It's like a really solid team. He's got John and Dustin May. And Polanco and Santi. I give it like a 7.5. There's nothing wrong with it. It's lacking like a lot of like premier cards. Like I think John's the only card you have that would be on every God Squad. I guess Santi too, but some people are kind of moving on from him because of the contact. So it's not bad. Like 7.5, maybe pushing an 8. It's definitely not bad. If you get Scott Rowland, it's cool. I just don't think he's worth going super far out of your way for. But if Ted Simmons was legit the only collection you had done, then yeah, you're so far away from Beltran, I'd probably just let it come naturally as the year goes. All right, so we're only at 44 minutes already, so love that. Two-time World Series. He hovers close to 900. Need a new center fielder. He's quite a bit away from Beltran. He wants to know if he should get somebody else for a weekend classic. So no Clemens. So you're actually missing AL. Impressive. Most people are the other way. So you've already got Shohei. Valenzuela is sketchy. If you're not sure you're gonna wind up on Legend, I don't know if he's worth pitching. But okay, so we're hooping. So if you haven't tried Griffey, I would at least try Griffey, because on paper he should just be way better than Roman Anthony. Headley, Lindor. You still gonna use Lindor post roster update because his clutch got put into the dirt, so he's gonna have to be like your 8th or 9th batter for sure. And then your Dito. It's not bad. It's not bad. Again, kind of missing like cornerstone players. Like I think Gil and Marte are. And then everybody else is kind of like debatable. Some people like Jordan. Like I said, some people are phasing out Santi. And then Juan Soto is kind of dependent on how good his inside edge is at this point. Bullpen wise, Hobie, Gossage. Not bad. You know, it's just a bunch of guys you're comfortable with, and that's kind of what you need in the bullpen. 800K away from Beltran. So you didn't actually tell me how much you got. You probably make at least 100, 200K from Weekend Classic on the lower side, I would hope. Yeah, I'd probably just save for Beltran. I mean, if you've got like 200K liquid, you could go grab Posada, I suppose, and that would help the lineup a little bit. And then just sell them once you get close and just eat the tax difference. It's really whatever at that point. If he helps you win more games, then it's worth like the 20, 30K you'll lose to tax. Not a bad team, though. Pretty solid. You could use Ohtani. If you really want to, you could use Ohtani over like Soto or Jordan. But I'm sure you've tried them. You know, most people don't buy a card for 500K and not try them out. So pretty good team from James there. Probably like an 8.5. Again, he's kind of getting it out of the mud, making it work. He's got some good cards, some expensive cards, but lacking like that true God squad of like Beltran and Roland. So pretty good team though. So next up, we got my guy Chance, 170K. Might add to Tease. Looking to get suggestions first. Well, I'm glad we're here now. Yeah, it depends on your rating. Really, is my opinion on that. Ellie's gonna be better than Jackie. And Jackie will be. Depends on how well you hit with Glaber. So I can't see your like parallel progress on the app, which is a little unfortunate. But if you have like a superfractor Glaber and he's hitting 400 for you, obviously no. But otherwise, I think Jackie can be better at second base for a lot of people. I see why you want to replace Tucker. An easy solution here is probably just to put JD in the secondary in the outfield, and just the speed will probably make up for the defense, and then you're just kind of DHing Tucker, which I don't think is the worst place for him. So I think that's an easy fix for you. I don't know if Tatis is worth like 150K. If you had him pre-roster update, cool. But as of right now, dude, we've only done lineup reviews from like today. It's crazy. It's insane how many people send in. Satchel sucks. If you use him just for the PXP for the multiplayer program, cool. Otherwise, he sucks. The rest of the bullpen's pretty good though. Pretty good. I don't love Skeens, but he's all right. Like, I've seen people do okay with him. He's never done good against me personally. And every time I've ever pitched him, he gets lit up. But I mean, I've seen people running around in 1,000 rating with superfractored Skeens. So it's really just up to how you do with him. Pretty solid team. It's probably like a 7.5. It's like 7 or 7.5. I'll give you a 7.5 because you went out of your way. You got John. So give you a 7.5. It's solid. It's not a bad team. All right, I'm gonna try to do one or two more, and then we gotta do one that I read ahead and saw. So we got Jeff here, 400, 500, have 100K. Trying to get live series. Carroll, Mason Miller. Can't use a silver. I mean, I wouldn't have that mindset, especially at, like, your rating. Like, Jose Alvarado is one of the... I mean, Danny Columby is, like, insane out of the bullpen. So, I wouldn't just think silver card bad. Like, it's not necessarily. So Carroll, I mean, if Carroll's one of your only lefties, you've got, what, 2? I don't hate it. Like, I'd probably platoon him. I probably wouldn't leave him full-time in left, but he's not terrible. It's a pretty decent lineup. Like I said, I've kind of made my thoughts on... I forgot about this Cabrera. That's a very solid all-star pitcher, to be honest. I don't know if I'd be using Logan Webb on all-star. But this Bob Gibson's just not super good, just because he doesn't have outlier, and that's kind of what always makes Bob Bob. Bullpen's actually really good. Would you replaced Walker with Mason Miller, who is just better anyway, so don't hate it. Mason Miller just got a big control buff, so I'm gonna hope that you had him before the roster update and didn't pay whatever absurd price he is now, because he was like 15K before the roster update. But pretty solid team. But I think objectively, it's like a 6.5 in relation to a lot of the other teams. You got some good cards, like Mookie's still hanging to relevance. And you got Santi, you got Cattell. So you got some solid cards. Upgrade your Ellie, obviously. I don't know if when the... Yeah, it was. So upgrade your Ellie. Because why not? And... I'd probably look for somebody to replace Bob, but it's not easy. I'd probably just go do the storylines and get John Don, and you would be hooping. You'd have May and John, 2 of the best 5 in the game, probably, and you'd have basically 2 aces in your rotation. So, not a bad recipe there. All right, let's do Nick as our last actual one. So, unfortunate that we only got a day back. I'm sure some people submitted right after the last one, and we're just not even close. So try to time it. I try to do these like 4-5 days after the last one, maybe a week after. So I'd probably be submitting in that time window if you're super serious about getting your team off. So 875, trying to hit 900 for Weekend Classic. About to buy Polanco to replace Bobby. And platoon Headley and Josh Young. Benches Napoli, Young, Tatis, PCA. Okay, I'm gonna play Cattell at short. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. I was about to say Polanco at short would be scary. Yeah, really good staff. 2 aces. A lot of other solid pitchers. Yeah, can't complain. Can't complain about the staff. Lineup wise, we got moving Cattell, putting Polanco at second base. I think that's the right option. I think there's a world where maybe you play Soto in right and then JD in left and just DH Judge. And this is why it doesn't matter if somebody has a God squad, because there's little optimizations like that you can be doing. Judge does have a better arm though, so if that's why you're leaving him in right, then you're good. It's probably a 9 flat. I think 9.5 would be having like either Rollins or Posada. And I think a 10 would be like having Randy, Posada, and Roland. But I mean, it's right there. Like, it's basically a God squad. So pretty solid team. I'll tell you what, we're at 53 minutes. We'll squeeze Robert in because he apologized because I think he submitted one where there wasn't like a lineup. So we'll give him a chance at redemption here. No bullpen, no starting staff. So I can only help you so much. Already upgrade your Ellie. Not bad. I don't really know how many subs you're cooking with either. I mean, this isn't a bad lineup. You got what? 3 lefties? 4? So, wait. Okay. 2, 3. Yeah, so 4. It's probably 1 too many lefties for my liking. I'd probably get either Harper out for like a righty or switch hitting first baseman. And then, or McMahon. But it's not bad. Not bad. Lineup structure he did include, so I guess we'll go over it. Ellie leadoff's pretty good. Cattell in the 2-hole, I think he's just like the perfect 2-hitter. Maybe split these up a little bit more so you don't get punished as much with your lefties. I mean, but you have 4 at the same time. So I would try to get one of those out. I don't really know. I don't have a great answer for you. I mean, oh, you have Chipper. Okay, well, there you go. Chipper. Just play Chipper at third. I mean, the quirks and stuff will carry him against righties, and then he's legit one of the best lefty hitters in the game. So I did not know you had Chipper. Can't see the bench. Sometimes you can see people's benches in the lineup screen, and sometimes you can't. I don't know what that is. But yeah, just play Chipper, and there you go. There's all your lefty problems solved. But pretty solid little team here. I mean, it's incomplete grade, because we don't have like a bullpen or a starting rotation. But the lineup itself is pretty good. I have extended our blocker here to go up the whole screen. So yeah, if you guys don't believe me, we just got 2 submissions just in the time I've been doing this video. So we just cannot stay on top of all of this stuff. So it's just crazy. But I do appreciate everybody that sent theirs in. I was going to do Brad's bunting lineup, who is a stream regular, kind of as a reward for always being in the stream. But his submission got messed up. For some reason, it's just like image.jpg, and it's not actually a link, and it's not an attachment, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But I appreciate everybody for sending in their lineups. We're going to try to get through as many as possible next time, but it's just not a super realistic series to do like every single day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to be on the next episode, I'll try to get one up near like Weekend Classic, I suppose. But till next time, peace.